Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Life with Mama B. I am back with another encouraging video. The word for today is really great. It's going to help us, really find out, do we really know who we are? So I'm going to talk about today self-definition. And before I get started, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe now. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another video. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what's on your mind. What? I'll be glad to hear from you. So today, as I stated before, we're going to talk about self-definition. I have some really good information, so listen up. So yourself is who you are, a sense of knowing who you are. So self-definition is you being able to answer the question, who am I? And many times when people walk up to us and they'll be like, okay, so who are you? Then you'll give them your name. Or if you have a title, you'll give them your title. Or you'll tell them what you do for a living, but never really telling them who you are. Let's look at some information. It says being self-aware is having a good knowledge and understanding of yourself, including being aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. How many of you all have been on a job interview and just dread that question when they ask you, what are your strengths or what are your weaknesses? It just kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, or you'll say something that's really off the wall that really has nothing to do with what they're really asking. And many times that hinders us from moving forward when we're going to those job interviews and things like that. But knowing yourself is knowing who you are. Once again, not your title, not your affiliation with family, your family name, your lineup in, children of your parents. It's none of that. It's really knowing deep down inside who you are. Okay, so this says this is so vitally important because you will try to conform to the characteristics of everyone around you, making you a weak copy. So what that is saying is if you don't know who you are, you will take on the formality of other people around you. And you will actually try to be that because you're impressed with who they are. You're impressed with what they have. You're impressed with what they're doing. But that's not going to be long lasting. That's just temporal. But knowing who you are and accepting who you are is fulfilling for your life. It's going to save you from having a lot of problems and issues down the line, mainly being a people pleaser. Because when you don't know who you are, you're trying on every outfit, trying to figure out what's going to be good for someone else. Whether you like it or not, you want everybody else to like it too. And that is a problem. That is not being self-aware. That is not having self-acceptance. And we need to have self-acceptance so that we can have self-love. Let's keep going. Self-definition gives you the opportunity and freedom to change things about yourself, enabling you to create a life that you desire. It's so hard to make, the effective changes in your life when it comes to yourself when you don't know who you are. When you already know who you are, you can make the proper changes. You know what needs to change, because then you're in tune with your purpose and your assignment. And when you're in tune with your purpose and your assignment, you can make the necessary changes. Also, it will help you to be able to hear and recognize the voice of God when he's really trying to tell you what your assignment is and give you the instructions to fulfill it and to make sure that you are on track. So it's very vital that you know who you are. Self-definition is very vital for the rest of your life. Let's keep going. Sometimes we tend to see our identity through our position in society, our friends and families, the needs and desires of our body, and the emotional and intellectual expressions of our mind. We'll identify ourselves with all of that. And we're going to talk about how to find out who you are, like you, the you in you, how, who you are. We rarely take the time to contemplate the real nature of our existence. That is so true. I don't know why it is, we feel like that, yeah, let me try this, or oh, okay, let me try that. And when you try so many things, you're tired, you're frustrated. Now you're just gonna give up because you don't know who you are. Now you have all these accolades, you have degrees, you have status in the social community, on your job, you're the CEO, the president, the supervisor, the manager, and none of that is fulfilling for your life because deep down inside you don't know who you are. And so we want you to think about that. Sit down, contemplate, look over your life, pray, because nobody can tell you who you are, or nobody can define who you are better than God, the creator. He created us all. And he created us in his likeness and in his image. So who we are is linked to who he is. Okay? So we got to get that. Let's see. It is impossible to change or become self-accepting if you are unsure as to who you are. You'll never accept yourself because you're just steady trying to do all of these things for the wrong reason. Now, we just did a video on motives. Go back and look at that video on motives, because you'll be doing all of these things and you don't even know why you're doing them. Your motive is just like thrown off. You don't even understand why you're doing it, why you did it, just none of that. Let's keep going. Having clarity about who you are and what you want can be empowering, which gives you the confidence to make changes. Confidence. When you know who you are, you're confident. You're not in competition, with other people about who they are, what they're doing, what they have. You're going to be content and confident in who you are, what you have accomplished, and you're not going to be trying to, be in competition with anybody else about what they have, so yours will be bigger and better. Listen, when you know who you are, everything about you is great. It's great, it's wonderful, because it's who God created you to be, and it's what he gave you. And so when you're grateful and confident in what God gave you, listen, no devil in hell can come up against, your identity or your confidence or what you have and what you're doing. Then the spirit of fear and all of its characteristics, it holds no place in your life because you're already standing on the foundation of who God created you to be. I challenge you today to sit down, grab a notebook, a journal book, just sit there and describe yourself without mentioning your family line, your family name, your status in society, your title, your position at your job. Just sit down and describe who you are. And I promise you, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something. And it's going to be an eye-opening experience. I challenge you to do that. It is vitally important because we're living in a time, if you don't know who you are, you're going to start conforming to anything, or you'll just sit and give up. And giving up and quitting is not an option. Go back and watch that video. Quitting is not an option. Giving up is not an option for us. This is very important. Listen up. Your troubles and your situations do not define your effective ability in the earth. It does not. That does not, I don't care what you're going through now. I don't care, what's going on in your life. And all of us have something going on in our lives. That does not define who you are. Let's go back to the challenge. I challenge you. Get you a notebook, a journal book. Sit down and describe yourself. Don't ask anybody else because, if other people have their opinions and all of that about us. We're not interested in that right now. We need to know who we are deep down inside. And sit down and describe yourself. Write it down so that you can define who you are. It is vitally important. I pray that this video has helped you, has encouraged you to move forward, to dig deeper, to find out who you are so that you can help someone else define who they are, so that you can be a help to someone else, so that you can be a love expression to someone else. Helping someone else after you have helped yourself. And it is going to be excellent. Because listen, we are beautifully and wonderfully made. We are. When God created man, he said it was good and very good. And you have to believe that. But if you really don't know who you are, you'll never believe what God said. You'll never believe what he said about us. And then once you find out who you are, then dig in the scriptures and find your benefits. It's going to be a blessing to you. It's going to be an explosion in your life. Just supernatural explosion in your life. And then you can say, I'm living my best life, because you're living out of who you are and not who anybody else is or who they say that you are. Yeah, none of that. It's going to be who you are. Thank you for watching this video. I pray that it encourages you and that it has helped you to build self-love, self-respect, self-acceptance in your life. If you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe now. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another video. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.